Hey everybody, Kyle Goth here from GoatFromReviews.com and the Goat From Reviews YouTube channel. I've got my first reaction to David Cronenberg's newest film, Crimes of the Future. This is unrelated, though somewhat thematically connected to his previous film, Crimes of the Future from 1970, but he's basically just reusing the title in a different kind of film. This one stars Viggo Mortensen, Scott Speedman, Leah Seydoux, and Kristen Stewart. Those are the four leads of the film. So let me give you some context here. I really love 70s and 80s Cronenberg. A lot of what he did post Naked Lunch has not worked as well for me, with the notable exception of A History of Violence, I think, which is fantastic. This is a case where he's going to his body horror roots, but he's doing it in a way that's closer to films like closer to things that I haven't cared for as much. Closer to like Existenz, which I'm not big on. From what I hear, it's a little bit closer thematically to Crash, which I haven't seen. And overall, it didn't work for me. There's a lot of great ideas. So let's talk about the kind of his ideas. I think he comes up with great ideas. I just don't know if in these later years of his career, if I've connected with his ideas and the execution of said ideas. The beginning of the film gives us all these ways in which he's kind of showcasing like how humans have evolved past the needs for certain things, how we've evolved past the necessity for things like pain and all these kinds of ideas. And I think that's really captivating, and there's some great avenues to take it, but he doesn't necessarily go down it. It's almost like that line is hit me harder than most of the other movie, but that line is only there so that we can explain away some of the problems that would come up with a narrative such as he's created with Crimes of the Future. He tends to do this espionage angle too that's never really worked as well for me. That happens in Existenz, that happens in this film. There's a little bit of espionage elements to like Cosmopolis, Maps of the Future, that kind of stuff, which hasn't worked as well for me. Yeah. So I think the ideas are there, and they're really captivating ideas. I just don't think they're executed all that well. Performance-wise, I liked our four lead actors. Scott Speedman, it was really great to see him kind of not getting screwed over like he has been by the Underworld franchise. Viggo Mortensen is terrific for what he's asked to do. His character is kind of restrained. It's an unusual role for him to play that I haven't had in the same way. Leah Seydoux is always wonderful. Kristen Stewart, it's kind of funny because she's kind of hearkening back to some of the stuff she did in Twilight, but she's working with a little bit more cognizant writing. That's not to say I like the writing in the film, but I think it's a better writing than what she dealt like with the Twilight films, and I think she turns in a pretty interesting performance that kind of harkens back to some of her earlier work, but I think it fits in the movie a little bit better. My other big problem in the execution that Cronenberg has here is there's a number of interesting elements, interesting plot threads that I think are left dangling, that I didn't get closure on from a story perspective. Most of my issues come from the execution of the story, because I really like the ideas that are there, and if they were in a movie that was a bit more well packaged, I think I could have worked with it more. But the film has to do with a lot of organ work, a lot of surgery work. Surgery is the new sex, is what somebody says in the film. There's an organ registry office that doesn't seem like it really goes where it feels like it's going to. There is a autopsy scene that didn't feel like it really had a climax to it and was just kind of there. There's an inner beauty pageant that is mentioned about who's got the best looking organs that doesn't really go anywhere. There's talk of human evolution through forced surgical procedures or actual genesis of offspring that doesn't really go anywhere. And that's my biggest problem with the film, is that there's a number of great ideas that I really wanted to see kind of played out by the end of the film, and they don't really go. And it's not that they don't go where I want to go. I just don't think they actually reach a conclusion that's fulfilling, if at all. And that's kind of my biggest problem with the film. So for me, I didn't care as much for Crimes of the Future as I wanted to. I was hoping for a lot with this movie, but it just didn't really pan out for me. But what do you guys think about it? Let me know your comments down below on your thoughts on David Cronenberg's new movie. I've got a number of my own colleagues who love the movie, and I've got a couple of colleagues who absolutely hate it. So it seems like it's a mixed bag, and I tend to fall on the disappointed side, which is really frustrating. So We can't love them all, but I really, really was hoping to like this one. Let me know what you thought about the film down below. And while you're down there, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. They're 2 free things that you can do that help support my channel, but they make sure you never miss a new episode of the show as it drops. You can also find my website, www.goatfilmreviews.com. You can find Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can follow me personally at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And you can find my show, my show Kyle and Nick on Film with Nick Palatashuk from the St. Paul Filmcast. Mondays, Thursdays, and Scary Movie Saturdays. We have new episodes dropping there. All those links are down in the description, so please check those out, and we'll see you later.